Shin Megami Tensei V was announced over 4 years ago. After multiple years of waiting, fans are extremely excited for its launch in less than a month. Even if you're not an SMT fan, I have 5 reasons for you for why you should be excited for Shin Megami Tensei V later this November. But before I get into the swing of things, here's a word from our sponsor. Ace Defender is a high-quality strategy RPG masterpiece. Combining a authentic, turn-based RPG battle with tower defense elements, the game has a traditional RPG storyline, solo player with over 40 chapters. A rebellion in the Dragon Clan threatens the balance of good and evil in the world. Our heroine, Alipida, the Silver Dragon Princess, escaped with the Creation Crystal to the human lands. There, she awoke the Creation Crystal and summoned heroes to fight evil with your help. There are 5 hero factions: Divine, Demon, Shadow, Nature, Light, with deep hero background stories. Starting with 48 heroes, there are 2 new heroes released every 2 weeks. The cool thing is, you can level up, combine heroes, and equip gear to create a powerful lineup. In terms of gameplay, this is where the game shines in my opinion. You can choose the solo mode of the game, Expedition. Explore dungeons and regions, engage in trials, level up your heroes, and collect rare items in the PvE mode. Or you can also fight against other players within your server, arena, or across servers called King's Arena, with multiple lineups in the PvP mode. Oh, and of course, you can also choose to accelerate gameplay by 1, 2, or even 4 times the speed if you're good enough, which is a very important mechanic in every strategy RPG in my opinion. New users who download the game from the link will get 10 Royal Recruit tickets after completing level 2 to 8. You can use tickets by clicking Sky City and Tavern, then recruit 10 times, so don't be shy and hop in today. Shin Megami Tensei V is right around the corner, and in terms of RPG, there isn't much to play right now. So Ace Defender is a fun time and it will keep you busy long enough. If all of this sounds dope to you, just click the link in the description below to download and start your Ace Defender journey today. Massive thank you to Ace Defender for sponsoring this video and helping support the channel at the same time. But now, let's get into the swing of things with my 5 reasons why you should get excited for Shin Megami Tensei V, whether you're a fan of the series or not. Of course, my people always watching the videos, I don't need to give you reasons, but for you guys out there who are not familiar with Shin Megami Tensei, here are my reasons. And I want to start with one thing that's actually super important. With Shin Megami Tensei V, the 5th installment, you don't need any prior knowledge of the previous entries in the series to enjoy SMT V. SMT games are all independent from one to another in terms of stories. Of course, there are certain elements that are appearing in a game and that will appear in another game, but you don't need to play 4 to enjoy 5, or you don't need to play 3 to enjoy 4, etc. So they're all standalone releases. Some of you watching are possibly familiar with the Persona series. It's similar with Persona. You don't need to play Persona 4 to enjoy 5. You see what I mean? So this is exactly the same thing for Shin Megami Tensei V. It is the 5th installment, but if you never played anything SMT, don't be scared. You're here for a good time and you're at the right place. Now my second reason is of course a reason that I had to mention very quickly, and it's actually the gameplay. Now I did some polls on my channel in the past asking what you guys preferred in SMT games, whether it's the music, the graphics, the tone and setting of the games. The gameplay was always coming out on top, whether it's by a large margin or a very big margin. And it got me thinking, I'm like, yes, the gameplay in SMT games is so freaking good. And the one thing that I really adore in those games easily has to be the combat system. Now the combat system in SMT V is the press turn combat system with a couple of twists that we're not familiar with all of the twists yet, including Magatsuhi's skills and stuff like that. So the press turn combat system, I do want to explain it for you guys because it's just that good. So basically what happens is when you start a battle, you have 4 press turn icons on the top corner of your screen. And when you use a move, if it hits the enemy, and it lands the hit, and it's a normal spell. It's not a weak point. That means that you lose 1 press turn icon. 1 spell, you lose 1 icon. Simple, right? But if you hit the weakness of one of your enemy, if you hit an enemy which is weak to ice with a Bufu spell, an ice spell, that means you hit his weakness. So boom, you hit him, weakness. That means one of your press turn icons, instead of leaving, it starts flashing. And a flashing icon means that you cannot use it again. So once you hit something or you do something with your flashing icon, you completely lose it. It's basically a 0.5. And it's extremely addictive. Same thing, if an enemy blocks your attack, you're going to lose more icons, etc. So that's just Simple, but it's super addictive and so fun. That's in terms of the combat system. But SMT has some fantastic side content as well. Demon Domains in Shin Megami Tensei IV was shrines in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Stuff like that is just super exciting. And in Shin Megami Tensei V, we have a large overworld. There seems to be some very interesting side quests that you can walk through. We've seen that with some gameplays before. We've seen that at Tokyo Game Show. It's just super great, and overall I'm excited to see what they have in store for us in terms of gameplay. But gameplay and SMT, you're in for a treat. So this is my second reason. My third reason is possibly one of the most important reasons for you guys watching this video if you're not familiar with SMT. It's a little bit harder to sell you on the gameplay, but in terms of visuals, which is my third point, it's easy to sell you on it. Just look at the trailers. Shin Megami Tensei V is the first mainline HD release ever. Yes, we're in 2021 and it's the first one. Now SMT 1 and 2 were on Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, and SMT 3 released on the PlayStation 2, re-released recently of course on PS4, PC and Switch. But that was ports. The original release, PS2, SMT 4 and 4 Apocalypse, 2 other mainline releases, 3DS. So SMT 5 is the first high definition game, and it looks gorgeous. It looks super great. It is an Unreal Engine 4 game, very good engine, capable of making some very beautiful games, one of them being Dragon Quest XI on Switch, which is a pretty good comparison. SMT 5 seems to be really polished in Unreal Engine 4. The models are looking great, the character design, the demon designs are looking great as well, the general art direction is super great, but the graphics are really good. And I would even say they are some of the best on the Nintendo Switch. Let's be honest, the Switch is extremely weak, especially when you put it next to the current gen system, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. It is super weak due to its hybrid nature. And SMT 5 is looking like it's going to be one of the best looking game on the system. And I think that's a good enough reason for some of y'all to jump in. If you're a fan of RPGs, the game looks great. It kind of reminds me of Tales of Arise in a way. It is a PlayStation 5 game that looks just so good. Of course, it's on PS4 as well, but it looks so good on PS5. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to play it even if I'm not familiar with Tales. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I picked the game up, is because of the music and the art style and the graphics. SMT 5's visuals should also be one of your reasons why you should be hyped and excited for Shin Megami Tensei V, which is releasing extremely soon. Number four is the music. Oh my god. Now, of course, if you're watching this video and you just enjoy a couple of RPGs and stuff, you may think that it's a little bit weird for me to bring up music. But music in Shin Megami Tensei games, bruh. The music in those games is just so freaking good. Now, on Shin Megami Tensei V, the composer is Ryota Kazuka, and Ryota Kazuka may sound familiar to some of y'all if you've played some previous SMT games, because he is the composer for SMT 4 and SMT 4 Apocalypse, and those games have some banger soundtrack. Like, they're extremely good, some of the best in all of Megami Tensei in general, in my opinion. The March Reason of Music concert of last year, we got a bunch of SMT music, and Shoji Meguro, a veteran composer for Atlus, was on stage with Ryota Kazuka, and he said that Kazuka is the new face of SMT music. And honestly, no disrespect towards Meguro, but I'm fine with that. That's perfectly fine with me. Kazuka has my trust, and if you listen to the trailers of SMT 5, woohoo, that sounds freaking good. And if you just go back and listen to the soundtrack for 4 and 4 Apocalypse, you'll just be blown away. So it really is that good. And my last reason is a very simple one, but I wanted to mention it. It's the better Pokemon game releasing in that month. Now, I just want to mention very quickly, it's no disrespect towards Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but clearly Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is like the budget title for Game Freak. They know they're gonna sell 7-8 million copies of this game, if not more. And it's a very small game. They're not even developing it themselves. It's another company that's developing the game, and Game Freak is working on Arceus. So it is a smaller project that's still gonna do well. That's still gonna do way better than SMT 5, obviously. But what I want to get at here is that because of all the people that are complaining about Pokemon, I'm like, come on, just jump into the hype train for SMT 5. SMT 5 is not adult Pokemon like some people say, of course, but it does share some similarities that I wanted to bring up for you guys out there if you're looking for a replacement, if you don't want to play the Gen 4 remakes. And SMT 5, you can recruit demons, you talk to demons, you negotiate with them and try to get them to join your team. Very addictive mechanic, and demon negotiation has been in the games for years at this point, decades, and it's just a very fun mechanic. Plus, you don't just level up your demons to evolve, you can do so with certain demons of course, but you can also fuse your demons together, which is honestly a way cooler mechanic in my opinion than just evolving your Pokemons. If you recruit 2 demons, you can fuse them together and it will result in another demon, which allows you to create some very interesting combinations, and it's just overall, again, a very addictive mechanic. Now, those were my 5 reasons for why you guys, whether you're a fan of SMT or not, should be excited, should be hyped for SMT 5. I don't have to tell you guys, but I'm just... come on. I cannot wait anymore. SMT 5 is just around the corner, and if you've never played an SMT game in general, I hope you give the game a shot because it looks fantastic. Please drop a comment below and let me know what are your reasons why you are excited for Shin Megami Tensei 5, and if you're thinking about giving the game a shot for the first time, first SMT game, please let me know. I'm also always curious to hear and read you guys' stories. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Quick thumbs up really helps, and if you want more content on anything Atlas, Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Shin Megami Tensei 5, you are at the right place. Make sure to subscribe, ring that notification bell, it really helps. Thank you for watching, and thanks to our sponsor for sponsoring this video. Have a great day, y'all. See you next time.